Good evening. So today we are going to do this experiment number 2, second experiment in Advanced Manufacturing Lab 1. Already we have done first experiment. Today we are going to do second experiment. Today's experiment is role of machining parameters on cutting forces in turning. Earlier what we have done effect of cutting velocity, feed and machining environment on chip formation. Today, instead of chip formation, we will be doing it on cutting forces. So it is the same experiment. Instead of characterizing the chips, we will be characterizing the cutting forces. The reason is that cutting force, chip, these are very important machinability characteristics. So we are going to study these machinability characteristics one after the another. So this is the basic schematic of a turning process. This is the chuck which is rotating in this direction with this rotational speed of ns. This is the diameter of the job d. So cutting velocity can be calculated as pi d ns by 1000 in appropriate unit. This is the displacement of the tool per revolution of the job. So this is s or feed, and this one is the radial engagement between the job and the tool. This is depth of cut. So during machining, the cutting tool would be applying some forces on the job. Job would also be applying some forces on the cutting tool. So the forces which are going to be applied on the cutting tool are Px, Py, and if you vectorially add them, you are going to get Pxy. Px is called the feed force. Py is called radial thrust force, and Pxy is called the resultant, or simply it is called thrust force. So either it is called resultant thrust force or thrust force, depending on which particular book you are using. This is the force which is being applied by the job on the tool in the vertically downward direction, that is Pz. It is called the main cutting force. So we are going to study today the effect of Vc and S on some of these forces. Px and Py, they are related to Pxy if it is a orthogonal machining by this particular relation. So this relationship is valid provided it is orthogonal machining, where this angle is phi, or principal cutting edge angle. These things have already been covered in your theory of machining, so this is just a recapitulation. So this is the schematic of the 3D schematic, 3D schematic of the chip formation process. During chip formation, there would be a force, friction force F, and there would be a force N which would be applied, which would be working at the chip tool interface. These are the forces which are acting on the chip. This is the work material which is coming down in this direction with cutting velocity. This is the chip which is moving in this direction with Vf velocity. So when the chip is moving over the tool, there would be a friction force and a normal force. Similarly, there would be a force which is called Ps and Pn, that is shear force and the normal force acting at the shear plane, where this is the shear plane. This one is the shear plane and this is the shear angle. This is uncut chip thickness and this is chip thickness. So these are the forces which are important. In this diagram, some forces are also shown in green. This is nothing but your Pxy force and this is nothing but your Pz force. So this is resultant thrust force and this is your main cutting force. So with these forces, as you very well know, you can construct the Marchant circle diagram where this is the rake angle, this is the clearance angle, and this diagram has been drawn on orthogonal plane. So this is the construct, and this is your F force, this is your N force that we have constructed. So the F force and N force were here, and this is your PS force and PN force. Only thing is that these are basically minus PS and minus PN. This is PZ and PXY force. These are the forces which are being applied by the cutting tool. For a ductile work material, our material would be a ductile work material. This is the expression of PZ, this is the expression of PXY, and this is the expression of specific cutting energy, where the numerator of the specific cutting energy is the cutting power, and the denominator is the material removal rate. Do not cancel MR this VC and this VC. Cutting power would come out in joule per second or watt, and this one will come out in millimeter cube per second. So UC unit will come out in joule per millimeter cube. If you stay completely in SI unit, it will come out in joule per meter cube. So there are different things that we are going to study, and one of them is PZ, one of them is PXY, and another one is UC. So this is the way you can calculate once the forces have been measured. This is the experimental condition. We are going to conduct this in a HMT NH22 lathe fitted with a variable frequency drive. It is a AISI 1060 steel. Diameter I believe is 190 millimeter plus. Please look at the video where there would be a demonstration video. In that demonstration video you would be able to get it. The composition you have to find out. The nominal composition is carbon percentage is 0.6%, and it is a plain carbon steel, so there would not be any obvious alloying element. As far as the tool geometry is concerned, this is the tool geometry. It is the same tool geometry that you have used in the first experiment. There is no change. We are using a P30 grade steel, P30 grade tungsten carbide cutting tool insert. It is an uncoated tungsten carbide cutting tool insert that we have described in the first experiment. For force measurement, we are going to use dynamometers. So these dynamometers are piezoelectric dynamometer. That one we are going to use, and the variation in the cutting forces would be visualized in a digital oscilloscope, and the machining environment would be dry. We would not be carrying out experiment in wet environment. Everything would be carried out in dry environment. As far as the first experiment is concerned, it was carried out in dry and wet environment, but here it would be carried out only under dry environment. Now let us look at the procedure. You would have a full demo video, so please go through that. As far as the feeds are concerned, it is the same that you have conducted in the first experiment. Cutting velocities are also as it is concerned, it is the same, 60 to 120 meter per minute. Depth of cut is 2 millimeter, that is given here, and the demo video will clearly show how to conduct the experiment and how to measure forces. Everything would be given in the demo video. Now please calculate the spindle speed here. For the first 4 experiment, your cutting velocity is constant, your feeds are changing. For the next 4 experiment, your feed is constant and cutting velocities are changing. I believe diameter of the job is 190 millimeter, but it is given in the video correctly. So if it changes from 190 millimeter, use that and find out the rotational speed. And these are the forces which have been measured. The PX force, that is the feed force, and PZ force, that is the main cutting force. They have been measured and they have been listed. And as you can see, as you increase your cutting velocity, as you increase your feed, this is the effect of feed. As you increase your feed, your forces are increasing, which is expected, because as you increase your feed, the chip load is increasing, so forces would also go up, which is pretty straightforward. As far as increasing the cutting velocity is concerned, the effect is not so straightforward, but as you can see, your forces are decreasing a bit. They are decreasing a bit primarily because of reduction in the chip reduction coefficient, that is zeta. So as you increase your cutting velocity, chip reduction coefficient goes down, which you have already conducted in the last experiment, and because of that there is a reduction in the cutting force. Now what you have to submit in the report, it is described here. So determine pxy. First thing is that you have measured px and pz. These are the two quantities that you have measured. You have not measured pxy. So assuming it to be orthogonal machining, you have to find out pxy and tabulate it. Along with that, you have to calculate dynamic yield shear strength, you have to calculate specific cutting energy, and you also have to calculate the friction at the chip tool interface. Friction at the chip tool interface, mu, the coefficient of friction, can be calculated by calculating F and F by N from the Marchant circle diagram that has already been drawn. So they are to be graphically presented, and over and above each graph they are to be discussed and explained why you are getting a particular kind of variation. And another thing you have to discuss is that the ratio of the main cutting force to pxy, that is pz by pxy, you will find it is always more than 1. Why is it more than 1? That also you have to explain. So this is the way the report has to be prepared and submitted. The report has to be submitted using the same methodology which you have done earlier. So that's all for today, and go through this lecture video as well as the demo video. After going through both of them, you would be able to submit your report properly. Thank you.